The music thumped low in the background, glasses clinked, and laughter echoed across the crowded living room. To anyone else, it probably looked like a perfect evening. But to me, it was just another performance, a stage where my wife Clara loved to shine. She thrived in these moments, telling stories, drawing attention, laughing a little too loud, as though the world revolved around her. And for years, I played the quiet, supportive husband, standing in the background, smiling at all the right times, pretending everything was fine. That night, however, something in me shifted. I had noticed the little changes in her over the past months. Her phone suddenly locked with a new password, the late-night work calls that didn't add up, and the subtle coldness in her touch when we were alone. I told myself I was imagining it, that I was being paranoid. But deep down, I knew the intimacy was gone, replaced by a performance she put on for the world. So when she leaned in during the party, wine glass in hand, smile painted on her lips, and tried to kiss me in front of everyone, I pulled away. It wasn't dramatic, just a simple, quiet refusal. But in that small gesture, the room seemed to freeze. Her smile faltered, her eyes widened, and for the first time in a long time, she looked exposed. "Not tonight," I said softly, my voice calm but carrying enough weight to cut through the noise around us. She tried to laugh it off, brushing a strand of hair from her face as though it were some playful joke. But the mask slipped for a second, and I saw it. The flicker of fear, the recognition that I was no longer willing to play my part in her charade. The rest of the evening felt like a blur. She avoided my gaze, though I could feel her anger simmering beneath the surface. Friends kept chatting, oblivious, while I stood there quietly, the decision already forming in my mind. I wasn't going to be her stage prop anymore. The audience she craved could have her. But I was done. That single refusal, those 2 words, were just the beginning of the end. When we got home that night to our house on Cedar Drive in Charlotte, North Carolina, the silence between us was louder than the music at the party. Clara stormed into the bedroom, tossing her heels across the floor, her eyes blazing with a mix of embarrassment and rage. "What the hell was that?" she snapped, her voice sharp. "Do you have any idea how you made me look in front of everyone?" Her words cut, but they also revealed the truth. It wasn't about us. It wasn't about our marriage or the intimacy we'd lost. It was about her image, her reputation, the mask she so carefully maintained for the world. I leaned against the door frame, watching her pace, and for the first time, I didn't feel guilt. I felt clarity. "You're worried about how you looked," I said evenly. "But you don't care about how I felt for months, maybe even years." She froze, lips parted as though she had something to say, but couldn't find the right defense. I went on, my voice steady, each word heavier than the last. "I'm tired of being the husband you parade around at parties while you keep secrets in the dark. I'm tired of pretending that everything's fine when it's not." Her face hardened, but the silence stretched too long, confirming everything I had suspected. She didn't deny it. She didn't even bother to offer an excuse. Instead, she tried to shift the blame. "You've changed," she muttered. "You don't give me the attention I need anymore. What did you expect me to do?" It was a confession without the courage to call itself one. I felt something inside me snap, not anger, not heartbreak, but a quiet acceptance. The marriage I had fought for, the loyalty I had clung to, had already been destroyed. She just didn't think I'd ever call her out. "I expected you to be faithful," I replied, my tone flat. but clearly that was too much. She turned away, grabbing her phone from the nightstand, her hands trembling slightly. I didn't need to see the messages she was hiding. I already knew the truth. Pulling away at the party wasn't just about a kiss. It was about refusing to play her game anymore. And now, the real unraveling was about to begin. The days that followed were colder than winter itself. Clara tried to return to her usual routines, posting smiling selfies, attending social gatherings in downtown Phoenix, Arizona, pretending our life was untouched. But at home, she avoided me. She knew the walls had cracked, and no filter or staged kiss could hide it anymore. I didn't shout, didn't accuse, didn't fight. Instead, I went quiet. That silence terrified her more than anger ever could. One evening, I placed divorce papers on the kitchen table. No dramatic speeches, no ultimatums, just a simple decision. Clara stared at the papers as though they were a foreign language, her hands trembling. "You can't be serious," she whispered. "You're going to throw everything away over nothing." "Nothing," I repeated, meeting her eyes. "You threw everything away the moment you chose lies over love. This marriage ended long before I pulled away at that party. That was just the moment I stopped pretending." Her confidence shattered. She begged, cried, even tried to seduce me as if a kiss could erase months of deceit. But I had already seen behind the mask. The woman I had once loved was gone, replaced by someone who valued appearances more than loyalty. The divorce was swift. Friends who once admired Clara's sparkle now saw the truth. The whispers spread about her late nights, her secret messages, the humiliation she tried to hide. And while she scrambled to salvage her image, I found something far more valuable than her approval. Freedom. I moved into a small apartment on Riverwalk Lane in Minneapolis, Minnesota, at first. Simple but peaceful. For the first time in years, I could breathe. I reconnected with old friends, focused on my own growth, and slowly rediscovered happiness on my own terms. Every day away from her felt like stepping out of a shadow. As for Clara, her world shrank. The men she thought gave her excitement disappeared when reality set in. The parties grew quieter, the attention faded, and the mask she wore cracked beyond repair. She had lost the one person who had stood by her through everything, and she knew it. Sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't destruction. It's walking away, leaving them to face the emptiness they created. Clara leaned in for a kiss at that party, hoping for a performance. Instead, I gave her reality, and that reality was the beginning of her greatest loss.